Hello everyone. In this video here, today I'm going to talk about this, actually this is a video response I got from one of my subscribers by the name of New Styles. He wants to know how I go about utilizing these dialogues in this Teach Yourself book. He's learning Tagalog right now, so what I'm going to do is just go through the dialogues and show you what I do, dialogues, vocabulary, and whatnot, let you know what I do when dealing with these dialogues. Now, not only New Styles, I also received a message from a guy about Arabic, about Teach Yourself Arabic, and he was wondering basically he was wondering about the layout of the book. Pretty much all the Teach Yourself series are the same. They all have, you have a dialogue, then you have a vocabulary section, and you have your grammar section, and you have an exercise section. Okay? So all of the Teach Yourselves are laid out similarly. They're all similar. Okay? So I would definitely recommend getting this Teach Yourself series. Okay? You get to listen to the dialogues. You know, it's a good series. So definitely it's worth it. This is what I've been using. I'm still using. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to use, I am going to use chapter 6. Let's experiment with chapter 6 here. New style. So if you have chapter 6, I don't know how far you are in the book, but this is chapter 6 here. Okay. Oh, my book is really beat up. Really beat up. Alright, so this is chapter 6. This is what we're going to play with today, okay? So, where do you live? You see, one interesting thing, one thing I love, you know, I really love Teach Yourself series, I really do. But one thing I don't like, I don't like is, I don't like when they have things such as, they're asking about where do you live. This should have been in earlier chapters. It should have been in early chapter. Things like this, you know, they should put things like this in the earlier chapter. I mean, if you're going to be asking people where they live, this stuff should be in the beginning chapter, not in chapter 6. I know that's still early. Chapter 6 is pretty early in the book, but I still feel that it should have been earlier. Okay, but anyway, this is chapter 6. Okay, so let's first. I'm gonna go ahead and take this page out. Might as well. We're going to go through the vocabulary first, okay? So, I am starting, let's say, if this is me, I am starting on chapter 6, okay? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through this vocabulary box and just go through here and see what words I'm going to use and what not. I want to see if it's going to be worth going over this stuff in this chapter, okay? Now, you can still listen to even if it's, you know, like if there are words in here you're not going to use, you could still listen to the dialogue for, you know, getting a feel of the pronunciation, how the words are enunciated, how the words sound, and the accent. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, so these are vocabulary words. So I want to know if these are going to be useful. Is going to be worth my time going through them. Okay, so. Let's start with the first. Oh, excuse me for a second. Okay, let's start with the first word. Okay, so we have ikaw ba talaga? So is it really you? Now, ask yourself, will this be something useful? Will this be useful for a beginner? Okay, will it something you think you will use in a conversation? Sure, I know I would. Ikaw ba talaga? Now. Well, not exactly is it really you. You probably won't say that, but like talaga, that word there means really. So, of course, in the beginning stage, you may hear this. Somebody might ask you, really? You tell them something, say, oh, I'm studying Tagalog. I've been studying Tagalog for a few weeks or a month or so. They'll say, really? Can you use talaga? So, talaga that vocabulary word is very useful. A cow is a personal pronoun, so of course we would need to learn that. And then ba is a question particle, so we definitely need to learn that. So overall, that's pretty useful. Okay, it's pretty useful. Let's move on to the second one. Sa. That's a preposition there. Okay, in, as you can see, in, on, at, in, the, on, the. So it's a preposition. So let's think about it for a minute. Someone asks you where you learning Tagalog, you're going to say, for example, someone asks me where I'm learning Tagalog, I want to tell them, nag-aral ng Tagalog sa bahay. Sa bahay. I would say sa bahay. I'm learning the Tagalog in my home. Sa bahay. Okay? So sa bahay. Let's move on to the next one. Bakasyon ka ba? Now we may not use vacation, we may not use that word, so if it was me, I wouldn't learn it. I would get familiar with it, but I wouldn't spend time trying to memorize it. Kaba, we definitely need that. Ba is, again, as before, it's a question particle, and then ka is you. Okay? So, that's that. And then, let's move on to the next one. Nga, indeed, it's true. So that's definitely useful. So it's like, of course, if you put nga with o is like yes in Tagalog. So if you say oo nga, that means yes, of course, or something like that. Indeed. So nga would definitely be useful. Someone may ask you, hey, do you want to go to the Philippines? You can say oo nga. Of course, I would want to go to the Philippines. Something like that. So you just got to think about the situation and ask yourself, are you going to use this stuff? Am I going to use it? Okay. So kasama ko, I am with. Kasama ko, definitely useful. I am with. You could say something like, I'm living with my family. I'm studying this language with a friend. Kasama ko, kasama. Definitely you want to use that. That will definitely be useful. Okay. Okay. Next word, nga magulang ko, my parents. So magulang, definitely you want to use that. Something about parents is going to come up. Ko is a possessive pronoun. You can definitely learn those. And then we have mga. Mga is for plural. So what I would do, this is when a grammar book can come in handy. You can, if you want to learn how mga is used more, you can refer to the grammar book, go to plurals, and see how mga, use them in example sentences. See how they use in example sentences, and so how they're used, and then you have acquired it. So nga is definitely useful just for plural. Okay. Next word, san. San. Where. Definitely. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, but about this one. San is one of our basic interrogatives we need to learn. San. Okay. So we definitely need to learn that. Ang punta mo, your destination. So punta, I may not learn punta. If it was me, I wouldn't learn it now. Okay, I wouldn't learn that. That's a word I wouldn't learn now. I'll become familiar with it, but I wouldn't learn it. I wouldn't spend time memorizing it. So ang, mo, ang, indefinite is a definite article. Your ang, the, a, all those ang. So you definitely want to learn that to see how that's used. And then mo is a possessive pronoun. Okay, so next word, masyadong mainit. Masyadong mainit. Okay, so masyadong definitely is an excessive word dealing with excessive. So we definitely will want to learn that. So you want to say, somebody might ask you about the difficulty of this language or that language, and you could say, oh, it's too difficult, or it's too, masyadong. That's where you use masyadong. All right. And mainit is hot. You could learn this because someone may ask you about the weather you live in, the place, the weather where you live in. They may ask you how it is, and you may say something about being hot. So I would say it's a pretty useful word to learn. Okay, they may say it's hot in the Philippines, so definitely I would learn that. Ngayon, today or now. That's definitely, you really want to learn that now. You can say, I'm learning Tagalog now. Now I want to learn Tagalog. Today I will study Tagalog, stuff like that. So that's definitely useful. Doon, there, definitely. Okay, so you're going to ask, what do you do there? Is anything dealing with there? So that's definitely going to be useful in the conversation. Dean, also, too, as well. Sure, you're going to definitely, I will learn this. They may, perhaps you guys talking about certain languages, they may say, oh, I'm learning Chinese. You say, oh, I'm learning Chinese as well. And you use Dean. So that would be useful. Sabay na. Do it together at the same time. Okay, so you may say something like, you're studying languages at the same time. You do this while studying Tagalog. You have to do this, read paper. Sabay na would definitely be useful in a situation like that. Nakatira, living, reside. We better learn this. I hope we learn this. This means living and reside. So, of course, this actually should have been in the chapter 1. You see, stuff like this should be in chapter 1. Okay. See, Mike kilala ako. I know someone. So this definitely will be useful as well, because you could say, I know someone who has been to Philippines. I know someone who is studying Tagalog or whatnot. So may kilala ako, definitely. Samay, near. Somebody may ask you, let's say for example, someone may ask me about Ohio State. I mean, I'm telling them where Ohio State is. It's near this place, it's near that place. So samay definitely may be useful. Simbahan, church. Now, if it was me, I wouldn't learn this. I wouldn't learn this right now. I would become familiar with it, but I wouldn't spend time trying to memorize it. All right. Numero, yeah, why not? I'll go ahead and learn numero. Then you have uno, tres, otos, a couple of numbers there. I guess it's okay to learn those numbers. Why not? Pumunta ka, you go, you visit, or stop by. Definitely, you could use that. That will be useful in a dialogue. So just think about certain situations where you think that this will come up, especially as a beginner. Sabahai, at my place. I mentioned before, I studied Tagalog at my place, Sabahai. So definitely learn that. Ang mapa, the map. Articles, definitely ang. Mapa, may not learn it, but I will become familiar with it. But since it's close in English, why not? Mapa, I'll remember that quickly. So ang mapa, the map. Well, actually, yeah, you might wanna learn the word for map, because in my experience, I've met people. They ask me where I live, and they say, "Oh, let me look on the map." So I had a lot of experience of people they using map. So I will definitely learn map. And then the last but not least, Makati na palaito. Oh, we've arrived in Makati already. I wouldn't learn that. At least for now. Okay, I will skip that. So basically, that's what I would do. I will look at these vocabularies and ask myself take the ones which one are going to be useful, and discard the ones for part time that's not going to be useful. Now, are they going to be the ones you discard? Will they be useful in the future? Of course, they will be useful in the future. But we want to look at now. Look at the stuff that you want to use now. And basically, I'm basing this stuff off of my experience. Okay, I've met so many people. I study many languages, and I have so many. I've met so many people. They ask me similar questions, and I could look at the vocabulary and ask myself, am I going to use this? Am I going to use this word? And, I can tell that it's going to be something not useful, so I wouldn't use it. So this is pretty much based off my experience. I'm not sure how much experience you guys have, but in my experience, I just know what to choose, what words to choose. So that's how I go about choosing vocabulary and whatnot. I don't write out the dialogues. I don't write out dialogues for vocabulary acquisition. My main goal for writing out dialogues is for recognizing the letters. A non-Latin based language, I would write dialogues for. Okay. Now this language, Tagalog, that is all Latin script. I wouldn't write out the dialogue. Now, is it a bad thing? It's not a bad thing. You can write out the dialogue if you want to do that. If you decide to learn all the vocabulary, you say, I want to learn all the vocabulary. Go ahead and write out the dialogue. You can do that. Write out the dialogue. But I don't do that. I don't write out the dialogue. Now, if it was a script-based language, I would write out the dialogue twice. Okay, that's what I would do. So basically, yeah, that's what I do for vocabulary. And then I'll go back to the dialogue here. I'll go back to the dialogue, listen to it like I don't know how many times, but over and over and over, and make sure I'll make sure I'm listening to those words I just chose to learn. So I will listen to the dialogue over and over and over and over again, getting used to the way the words sound and the accent and whatnot. Okay, so that's what I do. Now, yeah, that's what I do. And as far as the grammar section, I'll go to the grammar section and look at the construction, and I will practice those constructions. If this construction is relevant to what I'm working on, I will definitely make my own drills with those constructions. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can work on the exercises here. They have exercises in the Teach Yourself series. Personally, I don't do the exercises. I skip over those exercises because I make my own exercises. So, but you can. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. You could do it if you want. But basically, I hope that answers your question. That's basically what I do, man. I just, first I go to the vocabulary box and see if, there are some words I want to use. I take note of those. Then I go listen to the dialogue over and over and over and over. Okay, over and over and over. I'll probably spend an hour or so listening to the dialogue. Okay, and then as far as vocabulary, I incorporate those vocabulary words into my previous learned words and whatnot, my conjunctions, whatever. I just try to incorporate those words with the stuff I've learned before. So that's basically what you want to do. And let's see, I hope I'm not missing anything. Oh, this here, basically, I was going to use this, but I changed my mind. This is basically the dialogue. All it is the dialogue. I guess I can show you guys real quick. It's the same dialogue from the book, and what I've done is I just underlined the key words here that I was going to focus on. Okay, so that's basically what that is. But I just went ahead and used this book instead. So yeah, that's what you want to do, and everyone will eventually come up with their own strategy. That's my strategy. That's what I do. It works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but yeah, if this was useful for you, I'll be happy that it was useful. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Send me a message. I'll get back to you ASAP. Thanks for viewing the video, and I look forward to comments, questions, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for viewing the video.